How's it, everybody? It's your weekly vitamin. I am coming to you from the beautiful island of Bahrain again, where I am stuck, stranded. Coronavirus is a real problem. The Saudi authorities have closed their borders to all travelers from, I think yesterday they updated it, I think it's about 18 countries that are not allowed. So last week Saturday evening, midnight, they closed the Causeway Bridge that runs between Bahrain and Saudi. They closed the Kuwaiti land entrance, they closed the Emirate land entrance, so you could not get to Saudi from any one of those by car. I had arranged a flight on the because obviously when they closed the border, the flights, everybody jumped to get on the airplanes, and it got very busy. Flights were full, so I got a flight on the Monday evening. Monday evening. Monday morning I got a phone call to say your flight had been moved to Thursday evening. I thought, okay, well that's it. And then all flights to Saudi had been suspended from Bahrain, from Dubai, from Kuwait. So that was it. I was stuck for a week at least. And Wednesday I got a phone call from the airline saying that flight that you booked on for Thursday has been cancelled. We will refund you your money. So I asked him, I said, wow, okay, I suppose I have no choice in that. When will the flights be reconvening? When will they start flying again? He said, well, unofficially we've been told probably the April the 15th, but you know, that's just a rumor, we don't know. So we sit in Bahrain. I'll tell you what, it has done wonders for the traffic, because no one can come visit Bahrain from Saudi, no one from Bahrain can go to Saudi, and this is all because of the coronavirus. Which got me thinking, because then I started watching the news, I started looking at my Twitter feed and all those social media things we look at, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all those things, and I saw that people were panic buying toilet paper, and I thought, toilet paper? Really? This is a respiratory illness like MERS or SARS. Why are you buying toilet paper? I mean, it's really weird. And you know, to me then I thought, what? That's just weird. And then I thought about the verse in 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, where Paul is writing to Timothy, and he says to Timothy in that way, he says, you have not been given a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power and of love and of a sound mind. And so Paul was writing this to Timothy because Timothy was a very gifted pastor or preacher or speaker or disciple, whatever you want to call it. But he was also, it seems, kind of timid, maybe a little bit afraid to speak in front of people. And Paul was writing to him this, saying, look, you don't have to be afraid of anything the world gives you, that the world throws at you, because God has given you a spirit of power and of love and of a sound mind. And so Paul was writing this to Timothy to embolden him, to empower him to do the work that God had ordained for him to do his will, to do God's will, to spread the gospel. And you know, like Timothy, a lot of us in today's age, we're afraid of things. I mean, when I was growing up, I was called out to the army from the South African Defence Force, and I was afraid. Every single minute of that time, I was afraid. I used to be afraid of speaking in front of people. I used to be afraid of losing my job. I used to be afraid of losing my family. I used to be afraid of being poor. You get my drift. There's a lot of fear there about the world, about the life. And so, a lot like Timothy, I was afraid to use the gifts that God had given me to work in His kingdom. And so from this verse, I pick up a couple of things, maybe three things. One of them is that the fear that we have, that doesn't come from God. God doesn't send us fear. God is not, that is not the God we serve. So this panic about the coronavirus, the fear going on about it, that's not from God. I mean, I think that could be one of three things. It could be that it's just our flesh behaving like flesh does, because flesh has got no spiritual backing, no spiritual surety. It could be because the world has lost faith in the Creator. We have a lot of people that don't believe in God anymore. We have a lot of people that believe in stuff, and that stuff is being threatened by this virus. So that's the second thing. The third thing is it could really be a demonic attack. Now, I don't think we should ever discount any one of these things. Demons do attack us, not all the time. They're not omnipotent. Our flesh does attack us, and our fear that comes at us is not from God. That is from the world. It's from the devil. It's from our flesh. So one of those three things I think can be happening here. But how do we counter those three things? And I'll tell you what, the answer lies in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. We have been given a spirit of love, of power, of love, and of a sound mind. So that spirit of power, it emboldens us to do God's will. Now, most people in the world think of power in the context of controlling how people behave, controlling what people say, controlling actions, just control. Now, the spirit of power that we've been given empowers us to act boldly, empowers us to use the gifts that God has given us. But part of that verse is also the spirit of love. And what does love do? Love tempers that power that we have. And what is love? And I think, for me, Christ on the cross embodies love and power. Here was the creator of the universe, nailed to a cross by mere human beings. He has the power to dissolve the earth in the blink of an eye. He has the power to send floods, to open the fountains of the deep, yet He allowed them to nail Him to a cross. Why did He do that? Because He loved us. He loved us so much that He died for us, and that in His death we could live. And you know, the night before He was crucified, the most powerful being on the earth, in all creation, what did He do? He washed the feet of His disciples. That's love. That is self-sacrificial love. That is love that does not place yourself higher than anybody else. That is love that deems other people more worthy than you. So we've been given a spirit of power to embolden us to do God's will. But we've also been given a spirit of love to temper that power, to make sure that we use the power given to us for the good of other people and not to the betterment of ourselves, not to the betterment of ourselves. That love tempers the power. make sure the power is used the way it should be. And then there's a third thing in that verse, and that is a spirit of a sound. We've been given a sound mind. Now the Christian faith is not a blind faith. The Christian faith is a reasoned, rational faith. We are not given over to make stupid decisions, to make decisions. Now look, can God protect us supernaturally from this virus? Yes, of course He can. He can step in and make sure nothing happens to us. But does He always do that? I don't believe so. I believe He has given other people a spirit of power and love and a sound mind. And those being the people that are working on, the epidemiologists, the people that are coming up with the processes we need to slow down this virus. And I think it's going against God's will to just willy-nilly put people at risk. I mean, if there are I just got overtaken. Anyway, let's not do stupid things. If there are things that come across that said, let's use social distancing, let's not gather in huge gatherings, let's not give this virus room to move, then we should use that sound mind that we have been given. That sound mind that says these are the things we need to do. Because God has given other people knowledge, wisdom and understanding on how to fight this virus. So let us do what they have been telling us is a good idea. Let's wash our hands. Let's keep our social distances. It doesn't mean we completely isolate ourselves from people. Doesn't mean, but just means that maybe we don't gather in gatherings of 200, 250, 300, 1,000, where the chances of us spreading that virus is so great. What I'm trying to say is we need to use the gifts that God has given us. And the gift of power helps us to counter the panic that is going around, the chaos that this virus is causing. And the spirit of love helps us to counter that power by serving others, by saying, let me help instead of chase away. But the sound mind shows us that we need to use our judgment. Don't go and kiss someone on the lips that's sick and then, wash your hands. Do the things that are just common sense, the things that will slow down this virus so that the other apparatus that God has given us can keep up with the challenge. Let's slow the virus so that the medical systems in the countries that are affected can keep pace with the people that are infected. We don't need to fear this virus. We don't need to go and sit in a little hole and say, oh, woe is me. But we don't want to go and tempt it and give it any kind of room to grow. Let's use our common sense. Let's like I've said, social distancing. Let's not gather in people of that size. And this is not the world trying to control us. This is not some one world government saying, I'm going to use this to control the population and to break their freedoms. No, this is us exercising our freedom of choice to say, I will use the spirit I've been given, the power love and a sound mind to combat the chaos and panic, and to be wise about how I behave, and to be wise about how I approach this situation. We can weather the storm, and we can come out on the other side winnowed, strengthened, empowered, because God is on our side. God loves his people. All we have to do is turn to him and love him back. I love the Lord my God with every fiber of my being, not because of anything he's done for me, not because of any stuff he's given me. I love him because he first loved me. He loved me so much that when I was still his enemy, he died for me. Nobody else has done that for us. There is no other being, there is no other religion, there is no other God with a little g that has ever done what Jesus did for us. Sacrificed everything, died for us so that we could live and live for him. So that's just my weekly thoughts, my vitamin thoughts. Your weekly vitamin. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord turn his face upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his countenance upon you and give you peace. Vitamin out. Please like, subscribe, share, and put the notifications on so that you are notified when I bring a video. So do me a favor, like, subscribe and share. Thank you very much.
Perfect.